Dan Hardy, former UFC fighter and current MMA analyst, believes that Francis Ngannou's knockout loss to Anthony Joshua earlier this year will not negatively impact Ngannou's career or brand as a fighter. Hardy's insights come as Ngannou prepares to step back into the cage for his highly anticipated Professional Fighters League (PFL) debut against Renan Ferreira in the main event of PFL Battle of the Giants this Saturday, live on DAZN and ESPN+.
Ngannou, the former UFC heavyweight champion, has ventured into professional boxing since parting ways with the UFC, most notably facing off against two of the sport's biggest names, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. His boxing journey began with a controversial split decision loss to Fury, a fight many felt Ngannou could have won. In his second boxing bout, Ngannou was knocked out by Joshua in March 2024, marking the first time in his career that he had been stopped in a fight.
Despite the setback, Hardy remains confident that Ngannou's foray into boxing has only improved his overall skill set, especially as he returns to mixed martial arts. Hardy argues that Ngannou's time in the boxing ring has sharpened his striking and, most importantly, improved his ability to manage distance, which is crucial for success in both sports. This, Hardy explains, will be key as Ngannou faces Ferreira, a towering figure with a significant reach advantage. "I don't think the knockout loss to Joshua hurt Ngannou's brand or standing as a fighter at all," Hardy said in an interview with MMA Junkie. "The time he's spent in boxing has only made him better. It's allowed him to manage range more effectively, which will be crucial in this fight against Ferreira, who's taller and rangier. Boxing has taught him how to close the distance, land his punches, and avoid getting clinched, which is going to be invaluable here."
Hardy pointed out that while Ngannou's natural power and wrestling ability will be important weapons, expending too much energy trying to grapple with Ferreira could be a risky strategy. Ferreira, at 6 feet 8 inches and with a long reach, is physically imposing, and controlling him on the ground would likely tire out Ngannou. Instead, Hardy suggests that Ngannou's refined boxing skills could allow him to stay in the pocket, land clean shots, and avoid being caught in Ferreira's reach or forced into a draining grappling exchange. "We'll likely see some wrestling from Ngannou, but Ferreira is huge, it would take a lot of energy to keep him down and control him. I think Ngannou's ability to stay in close, box, and land powerful shots without getting tied up will be crucial," Hardy added. This fight marks Ngannou's first return to MMA since his last UFC bout in January 2022, where he successfully defended his heavyweight title against Cyril Gane. Since leaving the UFC, Ngannou has been navigating a unique career path, taking on elite opponents in both boxing and MMA while continuing to build his brand as one of the most powerful and feared combat athletes in the world.
Ahead of his fight with Ferreira, Ngannou has expressed his excitement about returning to MMA but has also hinted at potential retirement plans. He recently mentioned that he wants to leave the sport on his terms, stating, "I want to leave the sport before the sport leaves me." As Ngannou looks to make a successful debut in the PFL, his fight against Ferreira is seen as a significant test of how well his skills, particularly those developed in the boxing ring, translate back into mixed martial arts. With Ferreira standing in his way, Hardy believes that Ngannou's ability to adapt and use his experience will be critical in determining the outcome of this fight. Ngannou's PFL debut will undoubtedly draw a great deal of attention, as fans and pundits alike are eager to see how he fares after his high-profile boxing endeavors and lengthy absence from the MMA cage. Despite his knockout loss to Joshua, Ngannou remains one of the most marketable and intriguing figures in combat sports, with the power, skill, and presence to remain a top contender in whatever arena he chooses to compete.